Continuing on our discussion about working on discrimination skills, we can help our learners greatly by keeping things easy to understand. In this episode of the Learning About Dogs podcast, Laurence and Sue McGuire discuss ways to keep track of what you have taught your dog, some tips, and it's kind of fun. One of the things I think about is if we're going to spend this time working on cue discrimination, and then we write it in our little notebooks, and then we have to go to our notebooks to go, now, what was the cue for that again? Wouldn't our learners benefit? Or, always, don't keep reminding them what it is, make them think about it. I don't think that's entirely fair. So, a little bit of cue refreshing for the dogs, too.
Yeah. It's like cultures that learn their history by listening to others tell it, and they learn it themselves. They have far superior memories to us because we can say, oh, it doesn't matter, I can write it down, I don't need to learn it. So yes, my notebooks, the back page is all the words this dog is learning, and by the time they're about 8 or 9, I've usually got several columns ranging to about 100 and 120 different words, meaning different things.
Oh my goodness.
Some of them may be things of the past that I might not use again, but I have to have the word written down because what was I teaching? Oh yes, I was teaching Time how to do a pirouette. So his back end stayed on the spot and the front end goes around in a circle. It's like a horsey thing. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I've got my cup on a stick and I'm doing this and he just couldn't get it. And I'm thinking, why is he not getting it? And then I looked and I'd used the et part of the word for something else, which meant hold your position. Yeah. And he was responding to that. And I don't use it anymore, but he remembered it was not move. So I just had to change the word completely. So also listening to how the word sounds phonetically. So if you're going to use the word wait and pirouette, you could end up in trouble. Okay. Yes, so using the word back and pack it in, you could end up in trouble. So trying to find words that phonetically are different, even if you use the whole, phonetic alphabet, that would not be a bad thing, which is why I use colour a lot. So the 2 paws for me are pink and blue, and I go pink, blue, and pink is a much lighter pink, blue. So it also has a different tone, tone and pitch. So it just gives the dogs extra information. And our dog sports are very much measured from a sort of a 1950s type of perception of obedience, which was single words. Yes, so the dog had to heel, stop, stand, stay, walk, wait, fetch, pick up, la 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 la, and you were only allowed to use a single word. So if I said the word stand up, I would be penalized. So people learnt to go stand, put 2 words into that. But if you go to something like sheepdog training, everything's a phrase because you say the phrase more consistently. Wait to me, come by. Yeah, wait there. Yeah, or take time. Oh, I'm way back on up the hill. So the 2 tones there, you again use for whistles. So away to me. Yep, and come by. Yeah, and stop. So that the dog would have exactly the same pairing of the pitch of the way you say it to the whistle that you would give later on. So they never really have to learn the whistles, they just learn the pitches. And they have done experiments on this. You can, if you've got somebody who can sort of deliver sounds with perfect pitch and they can mimic the same pitch but a lower key, the dog will respond the same way.
Yes.
So if you're going to give monotone, stand, sit, down, it's much harder for the dog. Yeah. Yes, if you're going to go stand, sit, down. Yeah, it's easier for the dog to understand the difference. But you have to learn that yourself.
Yes, you do.
And I don't think that is any poor discipline. If you want your dog to have half a chance of being able to respond to you, they should trust you that you will learn your half of the job as well.
Yes, and I think that you laugh, but and sometimes my students laugh, but in Little Mr. Hank Williams' notebook, there are musical scales that I have written because I'm a musician, and I have a tone. I have a tone, boop boop. I have a little harmony thing, and then so lay down is C,
Yeah,
it's a try.
yeah.
It's a bum bum bum, a third, So it
Yeah,
needs to be a third. So therefore,
yeah,
it's middle
yeah,
C and E. Bum, bum.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
and
We
easily.
had I had to learn it from a student that just came down to class 30 odd years ago, and she trained opera singers.
Oh
And her
yeah.
dog was just everyone used to, God, that dog's so obedient, and yet she's a shit trainer. I'm going, well, it's because she's so consistent in what she says. And that
Ah,
opens up such a range of combinations of tonal differences, how you're going to pitch it. You've only got to be able to turn it around the other way, and it means something completely different. But if you keep giving everything like, do it, sit now,
yeah,
come
yeah,
here, la la, la la, la la, the dog's like, oh, there she goes again.
yeah,
So
yeah.
learning to sing your words, yes, it's you should be able to say them with a different tone pitch without doubt. Whether you know what they are doesn't matter, but you should be able to deliver them consistently. And even when you're practicing, you think it first, say it then. So you think drop. So I virtually see drop as a drop. So when I
Mm-hmm.
prepare to say drop, it's not going to be drop. It's always going to be drop. Yep. So having that, ooh, is this an alliteration
Yeah,
or is
yeah,
it onomatopoeia?
yeah.
It's one of those
Interesting.
where it's the word sounds like what it is.
So good. And to write down your cues. My goodness, people, please write down
Heavens,
your.
yes, heavens,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. How can you keep track
Or
of it?
I mean, who's going to care whether you call sit sparkle? And if that's what you think that word is, then that's how you say it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's not, cheese.
I
That's
think
another
it.
word that means something else.
I think it was in one of our classes where I guess there was somebody who spoke Estonia, the language for Estonia. What a
Okay.
beautiful language!
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
and
yeah.
she was cueing, and it was very melodic. And I went, "Oh my gosh, that's wonderful! I want to do
Having done
Estonian
workshops in
cues."
Italy, they often take the English words and add an IO at the end. So it's helio and retrivio and all this lot, and I'm going, really? And yeah, okay. But
Okay.
yes, bravo, bravissimo. Yes.
Johan.
Yes, yes, certainly if the language is more varied in their natural languages, that they're likely to give better cues. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
certainly. Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
So, learn another language. There we go. Links to the courses and other offerings are in the episode notes. Thanks for listening.
Well, just give me a key.